Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. I enjoy reading quite a bit. Now I don't read as much as I used to, but I still enjoy reading a good book, especially when it comes to bushcraft, survival, mountaineering, anything like that. I love those kinds of books. I've been asked several times if I recommend any specific books for bushcrafting or outdoors, and I definitely have my favorites, so stay tuned. I'm going to talk to you guys about what my favorite books are when it comes to the outdoors. Thanks for watching. Now when it comes to bushcraft itself, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. And of course, I think you kind of have to start with the Dave Canterbury books. Now, of course, there are older ones, which we'll talk about, but my generation and what I remember as being bushcraft books are Dave Canterbury's books. He's got several. He's got Bushcraft 101, Advanced Bushcraft, Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking, as well as Outdoor First Aid. All these books are really good. I own all of them, and I really like them. I've read them through, and I really recommend you guys getting them. They sell them as a set. He also has a new illustrated bushcraft book, which I have not picked up, but I plan on getting pretty soon. You can also check out Les Stroud, Survivor Man. He has a great book called Survive. This is one of the first books that I actually purchased, and I still think it's very relevant and very good. Les Stroud is not overrated. He is a really good survival expert, and his book is excellent. Along the same lines, of course, we recently lost Morris Kahansky, one of the legends of bushcraft, and he wrote a classic book called Bushcraft. It is one of the books that I go back to time and time again to check out and see how Morris did it and trying to learn different techniques. And lastly, of course, is Ray Mears out of the UK. He's got several really nice books. The one that I have is called Bushcraft Survival. I think it goes along with a BBC television show that he did, but really well illustrated, lots of really good techniques, and I very much recommend you picking one up. That book was actually sent to me by Ethan over at EDC Adventures, and I really appreciate it. Ethan, I've enjoyed reading it quite a bit. Looking at a biography type book, and a topic that maybe is a little controversial, is Bear Grylls' book, Mud, Sweat, and Tears. I really enjoyed this book. Whatever you think about Bear Grylls, I'm sure his TV shows aren't completely realistic, and maybe whatever you think about him, his story is amazing, and this is his story. It's about him getting hurt as a paratrooper in the British Special Forces, then climbing Mount Everest. It's a really inspirational story, and I do think it's worth the read, so check it out. A few books on homesteading. I do have a piece of property. It's about 10 acres. We have a pond, and I enjoy projects around the house. One is called Back to Basics. It is a great book, a great resource on all kinds of things. Chicken coops, planting, gardening, anything you can imagine around the homestead. And also is a fellow YouTuber's book called Modern Homesteading. It's Wrangler Star. Their book is very good. I've enjoyed reading it. They do still sell it, I think, on their website, so pick it up. It's a very good resource. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a guy named Tom Brown Jr. These books were the very first outdoor books that I ever bought, probably 15 years ago. I bought a couple of his books. He's a gentleman that was mentored by a Native American, and he picked up a lot of the Native American traditions, and he's written quite a few books, and I really think you guys should check him out if you've never heard of him. He has a Field Guide to Wilderness Survival, Guide to Medicinal and Edible Plants, Nature Observation and Tracking, The Science and Art of Tracking, and quite a few other books. He also wrote some fiction books, which are really good, and I've never read one. I'd like to. I'm always going back to his books that are more traditional survival books and outdoors books. They offer a wealth of knowledge, and they are well written. Definitely check them out. Looking at nonfiction books, I would definitely check out John Krakauer. I don't know if you guys have ever read his books. Two in particular that are great is Into the Wild and Into Thin Air. Into the Wild is about a gentleman named Christopher Chandless who gave up society, moved up to Alaska, unfortunately ended up dying of hunger and exposure, but regardless is an amazing, amazing story. The other is Into Thin Air, which is many years ago, if you guys remember, there was a really bad year on Mount Everest when several people passed away, and this is the story of that year, and it is amazing. I love mountaineering books. I've read pretty much every book there is about Mount Everest, K2, all those different Himalayan mountains. They are awesome books. I could list a bunch more if you guys want. I can put those down below, but they are excellent, and I love those kind of adventure stories that are based on truth. Put the focus on another YouTuber as well, is Justin Barber. He goes around Newfoundland with his dog Saku, and I recently picked up his book Man and Dog Through the Newfoundland Wilderness. There's actually a full YouTube series, video series that goes along with it, but the book adds a lot of amazing detail. I purchased it from his specific website, and he sent it as a signed copy. So definitely check out this book. It is amazing. If you're like me and you just think, man, what would it be like to go on one of these expedition type trips? This is the book for you. Now, a couple of other books that I just highly recommend. If you guys like good books, check out Failure is Not an Option by Gene Kranz. It's about the Apollo, Gemini and Apollo programs at NASA. He was the head of mission control. If you've watched the movie Apollo 13, he's one of the major characters, but he wrote this book and it is awesome. There's another book called Rocket Men. Check that out as well if you like the NASA era of spaceflight. Another interesting book is 1 Minute to Midnight. This is about the Cuban Missile Crisis with JFK. Exceptional detail. If you like history and you like Cold War stuff, you will love this book. And lastly, just because I gotta throw it in there, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. If you've watched the movies, that's great, but go back and read the books because they are way better than the movies. I tried to give you guys a lot of different things in this list of books, but these books by J.R.R. Tolkien are amazing, so go check them out. So like I said, guys, I love to read, and I get often asked what books I recommend from the standpoint of bushcraft. I've never taken a bushcraft course. I've never gone on any kind of expedition like that. I've only read and watched YouTube videos, and these books have really helped me learn a lot of the skills that I have and the ones that I show on my videos. I also decided to throw in a couple of extra favorite reads just in case you guys are interested. Check them out for sure. Do me a big favor, guys. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up down below. It really, really helps spread things across YouTube. If you're not a subscriber, and I know a lot of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, stop right now, click that subscription button, hit the ding dong bell as well, and you'll be the first to know when I release new videos. This was kind of an interesting, different video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm trying to spread things out a little bit and do some different type videos, and I think this definitely fits that bill. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.